Hey guys, welcome back. This is Chosen Architect, and today, that's right, we're going to be playing with a little bit of Ender.io and just a few chickens. So, I hope you guys are ready. So far, since I've come back, my energy condenser has been running for about a day or so here on the server, and it's been doing quite well. And let's take a look at how much EMC I have potentially gained. I would say a bunch. This is several stacks of gold at this point. Let's go ahead and claim all this stuff, and let's turn this all into EMC and see how much we have gathered. And then we're going to work on a new method today of generating a bunch more than this, a bunch more EMC than this process. And it's actually really simple to do. And that will allow us to be able to progress pretty fast into this pack, and also allows a creative freedom, really, I guess you could say. So let's watch our EMC section here. And let's watch it slowly but surely build up to almost 3 million here listed here, which is awesome. That's great. All right, so let's go back here. And let's go ahead and start working on what we have to do next. So I did end up getting chickens to spawn, and I've only bred them once. It was only chickens, and when I come to my base, there was a bunch of chickens on my base. I don't know if somebody spawned chickens on my base, or there was just chickens that had spawned here and ended up just reproducing, or just ending up just walking all over the place and then just spawned. Because I didn't have this fenced off at first, but now I do. So, with that done, let's start working on roost. As you can see here, we have roost. So we're going to need some hay bales, so hay. Let's see. We're going to need hay bales, we're going to need some regular wood. Don't I have hay in here? Wheat. What am I searching for hay for? Alright, so we'll turn this into bales, and that will pretty much give us the option to pull this out. So, now we can get some hay, and we can also get some wood, and we're going to need seeds for the other one. So for both of these, we're going to need seeds. So we're going to need a roost, let's go ahead and make that, and we're going to need a chicken breeder, and then we're also going to need a chicken catcher. So let's go ahead and grab that. So we need a feather, a stick, and an egg. Very weird recipe, but it does work. So let's grab the chicken catcher, and these all have EMC values, so let's learn those recipes. There we go, those are all learned, and we can throw all the stuff back in here. Alright, so getting started, we're going to need eggs. Let's grab some eggs, and we're also going to need some lapis lazuli. So, let's take some lapis lazuli, we'll combine it with the lapis eggs, and that will get us 16 lapis chickens. Now, we're going to need to take our chicken catcher and catch these chickens as we spawn them. Alright, there's 2 of them right off the bat. What you do is right-click on them, they'll turn into physical items. And let's just throw the rest of our eggs to see how many other ones we can capture. And there we go. We got another one right here. Click on that one. Click on that one. Bam. They've been converted now. Which is perfect. Because we now have this breeder. Right? So let's get some... what do we need? Seeds? We'll take some seeds. We'll fill this up. And we're going to split these into 2s. And we pretty much just have to wait for them to breed up. Now, the more they breed, which these are actually pretty easy to breed up, but all we gotta do is kind of wait for them. And as they breed up, we'll just replace them and keep getting them until hopefully we get 10, 10, 10s, which shouldn't take too long. And then we'll use those to produce EMC. You can see this right here produces 864 EMC per lapis lazuli. Once we get a 10, 10, 10, these things will produce 3 lapis like every few seconds, or every few seconds. I think like 10 seconds or something like that. They produce a bunch. But this is still running. We're actually going to use this to produce power very soon. Speaking of very soon, like here in just a little bit. So now that we have all of this done, I'm going to take my roost. I'm just going to set my roost down right here for right now, for whenever we do get some chickens that are bred up. And we should see like an animation whenever that does happen. So we'll work on that through the episode. All right, so we're done there. We're done there, right? Let's take a look at this golden apple. This is something that I really want to make. We need some gold. An apple. And the reason I want to make this is mainly because it'll help me get a gluttony charm. And these golden apples actually have quite a bit. They're pretty high on the EMC scale. So let's grab one of these. It actually went 16 for a quest. I think it's 16 or something like that. We'll throw that back in there. Let's take a look. How many does this one? Oh, it just wants 2. Okay, so we get $20 for 2. And the enchanted golden apple, I think that's golden blocks. Right? Is it not? This guy right here, is it craftable? Okay, so you can actually get this in loot bags. Apparently. Ooh, yeah, right there. So yes, this is a loot bag only item, so we can't actually get that, which is fine. So I'm going to need one of those. I have a $20 bill now. Let's throw that in our wallet. Now we're up to $113 here. Nice. Okay. So now that we have that, let's get a gluttony charm. Now, I don't know if these charms are in the quest book. It'd be I wish we could search for quests since there's so many. That'd be a nice feature. So 3 wheat, and that should get us a gluttony charm. This will be very helpful throughout our playthrough on eating food incredibly fast. Which will make these apples feel a lot better and not be so like latent. Alright, now that we have that done, let's see how our chickens are doing. They're about halfway there. The more chickens you have that are in the roost, the faster it goes. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so now that we have that done, let's get to work on power. Our first kind of power system should be easy to set up, because we do have the crucible that does produce lava. So let's take a look at the crucible. Now the crucible does have different levels at which it can produce lava from. The top tier being plutonium. Now, we don't actually have the ability to make plutonium just yet, or the cyanite either. Even though this would just require refined uranium. But to get your refined uranium, you need to make yellorium blocks. So, yellorium is something that we're very close to having, right? I think I have 3 pieces of yellorium, and we get that from dust sieving inside diamond meshes. So let's get some diamond meshes. And I need to swap these out anyways over here. And we're going to get that yellorium today. So that didn't take me very long at all. I actually only pulled out 3 stacks, thinking that was all I was going to need. And I now have all of the chunks needed to make 1 yellorium ore chunk. And all I gotta do is kind of cook this stuff. By the way, we're also going to switch over from using coal to using charcoal, so let's get some wood. And I'm actually going to, after this chunk is made, I'm going to use the rest of that coal to produce 1 charcoal. And there's our refined uranium. Nice. So we should be able to save that right here. Refined uranium. We need a block of it, I think. A block of this, right? Or I guess this this will stay that way, right? Crucible. Let's go into the furnace, or actually go into this right here. And then we're going to find the plutonium block. Remember, plutonium is just cyanite. So we need a bunch of cyanite to make 1. But once we get these, we can EMC them. So, refined uranium and sand equal that. That's pretty easy, right? Refined uranium and sand equals the cyanide ingot. There we go. And then this, all in a pattern. So like, what? We need 8 of them. Will equal 1 plutonium. And the plutonium's EMCable as well. So that'll get us a block. And we need 9 of these to make 1 block. Perfect. That's actually the top tier heat source right there. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. All right. So for power, so we're gonna go with, I guess extra utilities. So we need a lava gen, or I guess it'd be magmatic dynamo. Not a dynamo, but a magmatic generator. There we go. Magmatic generator with lava. We need a furnace, so we're going to need these few things. We're going to need a chest, some iron, some redstone, iron, and chest. And then we're also going to need some gold, a furnace, some gold, right? And we're going to need a bucket of lava. Perfect. So we should have everything to make this magmatic, or the magmatic generator. So let's go in here, the machine casing. We'll make 4 of those. And then we're going to make the actual furnace generator. And then we're going to go ahead and make the magmatic generator. Pretty nice. So this is going to be really easy early game power. We might actually make more of these. Let's get some more furnaces. We can probably make 4 of them. And lava. I'm going to go ahead and make 4 since I do have enough of the machine casings to make 4. Let's go ahead and do that. Right? What am I missing? Oh, nothing. It's just the buckets getting in the way. And there we go. There's 4 magmatic generators. Now, is a magmatic generator in our list of things to complete? I figure we would have like a tech tree, and we would have those generators in there. Oh, I guess it's the rainbow it wants us to eventually get to. Oh man, and then the Optium core. Oh man, that's going to be crazy to get to. Anyways, all right, we have the power ready to go, right? So let's sort of set this up. Set this up a little bit. So instead of EMC that we're going to be producing this way, we're going to change this. We're going to change this up a little bit. Let's break this, because we're going to use this somewhere else for our chickens. By the way, speaking of chickens, let's check on these guys. Oh, good. We're fixing to produce another one. Then we'll replace that with that one and make it a little bit faster. All right, so let's also grab our crucible. Perfect. And we're gonna connect this right here. So on this block, we'll put our plutonium. Which actually, let's make sure we save the plutonium block, so we can pull that out later on. Plutonium block. We'll put that on top of it. And that's going to start producing lava about as fast as it can. We can't actually produce lava any faster, I don't believe. And then we're going to take these. We're going to set this up. I think the solid is actually... We might have to set up more lava generators. We're just going to set a couple of these up for right now. And then we got to get some fluid pipes. So I'll take a couple of those. And we're just going to use extra utilities for right now to pump the fluid out. Right? Just like so. And these guys are going to fill up with lava. Now, we can get a backup of lava. Let's go ahead and look towards the quantum tank. This guy is amazing and holds so much fluid that, I mean, it's unbelievable. It holds like 2 billion buckets worth of fluid, which is absolutely insane. So we just need iron, which we already have the buckets. We just need this obsidian at this point. 3 obsidian will get us what we need for that. And let's make the quantum tank. Now, the quantum tank is definitely a quest reward item, or a quest item. I think it's under storage, and it is. It's right here under quantum tank. There it is. And we get $10 bill from that. Really nice. Awesome. So, quantum tank, ready to go. Let's also hook that quantum tank right here. So that way, whenever this actually fills, when this buffer fills and the power buffer fills, it will continue to fill the tank with the residual lava. That way we won't technically have to worry about if this fails. And then whenever this is completely full and we need to swap it, we'll just swap this with another pipe. Right? We'll just have like this going on top, and we can route another cable right there. Perfect. And then that will pretty much pull back out of here and go back into the system whenever it's needed. Anyways, this should be working perfectly. Perfect. Like it's... Look at this. This is already filling up. This is already generating power. It's doing good. This is producing quite a bit of lava already. And yeah, that's working out perfect. Alright, let's pull out these chickens. Let's put these chickens in. This is the only way we're going to actually do this faster. And these are already at tier 2, and this one's almost at tier 3. Now these do have a chance to jump while breeding, so you might want to keep an eye out on that while doing it. But anyways, I'm going to throw the excess chickens in here, and that'll just, as we wait for everything else, it's going to produce just a couple pieces of lapis, so we'll have them whenever we need them. Anyways, energy condenser, let's go ahead and get all this thrown in here. These blocks from X Utilities can't actually be EMC'd, unfortunately, but that's okay. We don't really need those to be EMC'd anyways. Alright, so we're looking good. We're looking good. Let's go ahead and put these right there. And we're generating power already. We're generating quite a bit of RF, because magnetic generators do produce a good amount of RF. I think it's 40 RF per tick. So we're producing like 80 RF per tick, which is really good. Alright, so chickens are working. Chickens are breeding. We're going to get somewhere. Let's start working on... Let's take a look down the road. Ender IO. Because right here, we want to get this armor. So we're going to need to focus mainly our attention right now on the procedure to getting Ender IO started. Right? Now we've done Ender IO so much, or I've done it so much recently. We're going to need our simple machines, which means we're going to need some regular iron bars, and the grains of infinity. We do have grains of infinity. Let's go grab those. Iron. And we're going to need iron bars as well. Let's go ahead and get those in our table. So those are nice and learned up. And we should be able to make the simple casing, right? There we go. Simple machine chassis. Next, we're going to need to work towards getting ourselves... we don't need power because we do have power coming from there. But we do need to focus on getting a couple of other machines made, like the alley smelter. But we're going to need to start off with the simple versions. Alright, where are the simple? Is it called simple? Yes. Okay, so simple powered furnace, we have the simple alley smelter, which is the one we're going to need. We're going to need these stone gears, which I'm pretty sure, I think I know how to make those. Also, we need to save the simple chassis. And let's get cobblestone. We're going to make some stone gears. There's a stone gear. That's pretty simple, right? And what else do we need for alley smelter? Bucket, 2 furnaces. So, furnaces, bucket, and something else, right? No, that's about it. We already have iron on us. So, alley smelter. Oh, we need another gear. I'll go ahead and pull a stack of those gears, because I know we're going to need them for everything else. And there's a simple alley smelter. Perfect. So we're going to be getting a bunch of advancements at this point. So let's move on to the sag mill, which is what we're going to need. We're going to need a piston. I don't think we have a piston saved, right? So redstone. We already have iron, and we already have cobblestone. We need wood. We need some wood for this, right? Make a piston. We'll definitely save the piston. There's that. And flint. So as you can see, this is sort of how crafting with EMC works. I wish there was like an actual EMC crafting grid. How cool would that be? But that would also mean that JI would equal every learned recipe inside there. So that would be kind of cheaty, I think. I think this kind of adds just a tiny bit of balance. There's not much balance when it comes to EMC, but I mean, it works. It works. Gets the job done. And there's our simple sag mill. Let's learn that. Might as well. Let's learn that as well. And that's about it for the early machines that we're going to need. Let's get a chest. We're going to need some grass. So I'm going to need shears. We're going to need some bone meal. And this is going to be to get some of the early resources that we're going to need. Did I mean to place you, chest? My bad. There we go. And I'll shear all that. Perfect. Now, at the beginning, there was some dead bushes, right? And I did shear those dead bushes. And for good reason. Because dead bushes work really good in the sag mill at producing twigs. We're going to need those twigs later on. But right now, we're going to need grass clippings. So let's grab some of the grass clippings. And we'll go ahead and set up our sag mill right here. Actually, let's do this. Let's change this up a little bit. Let's set our sag mill here. And our alloy here. And this is already inputting. We got to get a wrench. Right, we're going to need this wrench, so we're going to need some red dye. I don't think we have any red dye yet, but we can definitely get some. Let's grab some bone meal. There's some yellow and red dye. Perfect. That's all we need. Oh, I didn't pick up the red. There we go. So yes, this will give us the dye that we need. So let's go ahead and craft those. There's our red dye. We need red stone. We also need iron. And this wrench will be very handy while working with extra utilities. So I can just close off that, so no longer will we get any of this junk in there. I do need, however, grass clippings to go in there. So let those grass clippings go. And as you can see, we're going to start getting clippings and trimmings. That's exactly what we want to see. Perfect. Let's check on our chickens. We have another one. Let's go ahead and wait for these to produce. I think that's the fastest way, is to have 2 chickens that breed up, and then you just do it that instead of rotating them in and out. I think that's a better way of doing it. Alright, so let's go ahead and clear all this. And let's see now what we need. We definitely need grass clippings. Right? Let's grab a bunch of those. I'm going to set a chest on top. I can't really set a chest on the side with this placement. That's okay. We'll set this to pull, or set this to push, and it's going to push the grass clippings there. And then I'm going to set this here. Wow, that already filled up with cobblestone really fast. What I'm going to do is configure this. I think I can set the face to pull. Yes. And that'll pull the grass clippings from here. Perfect. That works out perfect. Alright, so yeah, this is going to continue to make grass clippings and trimmings, and we're going to need to use this with some slime to produce some different colored dyes. Along with this, which I think I have some of that over there. Let's get another sag mill. We're going to hook this one up here. Also, we need to pull this out. Make sure that's not connected. On this other sag mill, we're going to get some coal. And we're going to put some coal in here, and we're going to get that processing as well. And we're going to need both of those for today's video. This should be very helpful. This is almost done. Perfect. Alright, so, with that being said, Ender.io. The reason why I want those grass clippings is because we're going to be working towards making what is now the, let's see, let's pull this out of here. On what is now the, where's it at? Industrial casing right here. The industrial machine chassis. So we're going to need the industrial dye blend. And that is quartz powder, which we haven't got quartz yet. We're going to work on that here in a second. Organic black dye, which we get from pulverized. The organic green dye, which we get from clippings and trimmings. crushed lapis, which we're going to get whenever we crush up some lapis. So let's get some lapis. Let's get some, what else was there for the industrial? Oh, quartz. So yeah, we're going to have to get some quartz here in a little bit. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. And let's go ahead and put a chest up top here. And then we can set a chest back here. I'll configure this to pull. And this will be push. So when that's done, it should pull that in. And it should start working on that. Awesome. So in order for us to get some quartz, which we're going to have to work on now, we need sand. Lots of it. No, not really lots of it. We just need a little bit of sand. We technically only need to use one of these, and that's going to get us soul sand. That's super simple, right? And the soul sand is EMCable. So we can just take soul sand, and yeah, we can sieve soul sand. And sieving soul sand is going to either give us quartz or a gas tier. And remember, we only need one of those. So let's continue to sieve. And this, by the way, in itself, is a great way of gathering more EMC, because it didn't cost much to produce this soul sand, right? It didn't cost that much EMC. These things, this quartz gives you quite a bit of EMC. So I highly recommend you setting that up. But I'm trying to also, in the process of getting quartz, which I am going to go ahead and save, and I do need to get that processed as well. Let's go ahead and throw that up here so it can get processed along with that. But the main thing I'm after also is a gas tier, which should be, it's a 1% chance of us getting it this way. So out of the 64, I technically should get one. I had 2 stacks, and there we go. Because yes, if we sieve 100 blocks of soul sand, I am guaranteed at least 1 gas tier. So I'm just going to finish out the rest of them. And there we go. So that was pretty simple, right? We should pretty much never have to do that again. And we now have a gas tier, which is perfect. That saves us a lot of work down the road. All right, so to help us along, let's go ahead and swap the coal out for that. Also, I do now have charcoal, which should be inside here, right? Oh, maybe not. We're going to need to produce charcoal. I'm going to show you a little bit of a difference between coal and charcoal. For cooking things or keeping things going, you know, you need a little bit of charcoal. But as you can see, coal is 128 EMC, whereas charcoal is only 32, which is really nice, because that means we can now use charcoal for a lot of different stuff. Anything that requires cooking, I'm going to be using charcoal from now on. Mainly because it's like 3 times as cheap. Same goes for its block form. Its block form, only 128, whereas coal is a lot more. Let's pull some of that out, and I'll show you. The EMC for this is significantly more, as you can see. So yes, in large quantities, it does add up. And so each block would be 1,152, whereas this is just 128. And they both burn for the same time. Let's look at this, exactly the same time on each burn rate. So just keep that in mind while working on this and getting these items. You're going to notice that that is going to be something you need to keep an eye out for, and just make sure you're not wasting EMC, I guess. Alright, so we have our clippings and trimmings. We're going to use this now with some other things. Let's get some, what do we need? Oh, slime? Let's take some slime. And we're going to throw some slime in here with some grass clippings. Those are going to get processed up. We're going to pull the lapis. We're going to let some quartz come down in here and get crushed up. We're going to need probably a bit more quartz than we need lapis. And let's check back here. Oh yeah, we got all of these lovely items, as you can see, working. And it looks like these are all EMCable. Very nice. So that definitely helps out. And I'm sure, I'm almost positive that this is probably EMCable. Oh, nope. Guess what? Quartz dust is not. So that's something we're going to have to watch out for now as well. Perfect. Alright, so now that we have this done, let's go ahead and let's see, are grass clippings EMCable? No. So some things in Ender.io are not able to be EMC'd. Alright, so let's get some black dye. Or not black dye, dust. right? Coal dust. And we're also going to need lapis. So there's all that. And let's just make some dye here. There we go. Since this is actually producing other types of dye, it actually, to get the organic dye, it takes like 3 of these, I think, to 1, or 8 to 1. Or 12 to 1. Yeah, 12 to 1 to produce 2 organic dyes. Kind of crazy. By the way, this is actually holding up really well for power. I mean, these guys only use 15 RF per tick. I mean, don't get me wrong, they don't use that much power, but they do constantly consume power, which is also a thing. By the way, oh yeah, our tank is slowly but surely filling up, and we already have 30 buckets filled up in there. And you see it's at 0% full with 30 buckets. So yeah, that holds a lot. Alright, there's our organic dye. And I think that's it. This doesn't go in there. So we should have everything at this point to make the powder, right? I think. Industrial dye. We just need our nether quartz, which should be right here. And there we go again. Another bejeweled 2. Let's see. Can we do this? We can. 24 industrial dye. And industrial dye is also EMCable. Who would have thought? Since it does use things that technically can't be stored. So, industrial dye. I'm going to pull out 6 for right now. And we're going to get some casings. So, or chassis. So let's take some of these simple chassis. And we're going to turn those into some industrial versions. And this will allow us to get into our familiar Ender IO processing stuff, which will be a lot more efficient with fuel and everything. And also, let's check in on our chickens. How are they doing? Oh wow, we have a bunch of chickens that have grown since then. Alright, so let's take a look here. What are the best chickens right now? We have 4-4 and 4-4. So these two. So let's keep those going. And we can also remove this. And I'm going to put the highest tier in here. Which I guess would be the 3-4-4. Right? I guess it doesn't really matter because gain and strength is what you technically get a lot from these. And then we're just going to throw these guys away because they're kind of useless at this point. But these guys are definitely good. And oh, by the way, the faster you get these on the growth, the faster they go on the reproducing. Awesome. So this is looking good. There's our 5. And oh yeah, achievement completed. I want to check real quick. We have been rushing through here and kind of doing this. Let's get our simple alloy smelter. And we're going to complete this quest for that. We get a $1 bill. And now we're fixing to move into the actual alloy smelter. And by the way, we can consume this, right? We ate it. Alright, so that normally has something funny that it says. Talking about Indirios, I think is what it's called. Which is kind of hilarious. It's just a simple little meme there. Alright, so we'll take this. Close that back up. And now let's dive into making our first alloy smelter. Using our casing. So, alloy smelter. Right here. I wish these decoration blocks would get out of the way because they're always kind of there. So, to get started with this, we're not only going to need the industrial casing, we're also going to need a little bit of dark steel. And I say a little bit, but we're technically going to need a few of them. So, alloy. Let's get our simple alloy smelter. We're going to make 4 of them. I am going to break these down now. So we no longer need them. In their current state, we don't need them. There we go. And same for this. And we don't need any of these chests anymore. Perfect. Alright, so we're gonna place down simple alloy smelters. We're gonna have 4 of them going. And this is going to be to produce a bunch of different materials. Alright, so let's get Everything we're going to need. We're going to need coal, dust, and then we're going to need iron, and obsidian. Right? And we're going to need that for each one of these. So this is going to start producing dark steel. And the reason I made a bunch of them is mainly because I want to get this done faster. I mean, we have the ability to do so, so why not do so? As you can see, it's going to start producing. We should get 4 just about every cycle, which will work out perfect. We can technically make even more. We can put them on the front, because these things don't consume any power at all. And once we get 1, I think it's EMC-able, right? Let's take a look at this. That produces electrical steel. Dark steel is EMC-able. So, yes, once we get 1, we should be ready to go and start producing the bimetal gear. All right, so I've been waiting and kind of working on the breeding part. This really ramps up. It's like if you were to look at the breeding scale for chickens, you would basically have a graph that would be very slow and then just completely go straight up in the air. Like, I mean, the ramp up in this breeding speed is just a giant shot up in the air. As you can see, whenever you get these to 16 10-10-10s in both slots, this is how fast it actually produces the 10-10-10 chickens. And that's where I'm saying that the lapis chickens are probably your best bet for early game EMC production and large scale EMC production. So let's get some iron. I'm going to grab iron. I'm going to grab 3 iron blocks. We're going to make an anvil. Let's go ahead and make an anvil real quick. And we're going to take the anvil, and we're going to take some of these chickens here in a minute, and we're also going to take a transfer pipe, and I think we need just 1 transfer pipe, and this will actually make several of them. So if we take the transfer pipe, forget how we squish them, like so, like this, and that'll make the flat transfer nodes. And flat transfer nodes are really nice. Let's go ahead and throw the anvil back in there. And now we have flat transfer nodes, and we can actually set up our chest. Let's grab our chest. Not an alchemical chest, energy condenser. We need a regular energy condenser. And what we're going to do is we're going to set our energy condenser here for right now. This will be moved. We set a flat transfer node here. And if you hold a flat transfer node in your hand, you can actually open it up and set filters and stuff like that, which is really nice. But what we can do is get a roost. Set that roost on top. And this will, as we feed it with some chickens, this should automatically put lapis into the chest, I think. Oh, maybe we have to put the flat transfer node on the bottom of the on the bottom side. And I think we might be able to actually, here, let's pop this off. I think we can actually invert this. Switch sides. Oh, I forget. It's been a while. Let's go ahead and pop this back off. And then we'll pop the chest. And then we'll try it the other way. Let's place the roost here. Let's grab our water. We'll dig a simple hole. Place the water, which will allow us to place this on the underside. There we go. Now, if we place the chickens, let's not do that. The flat transfer node. There we go. So, you can see the transfer node through here as well. So you can actually access it even when the chest is down. So, as you can see here, you can still access that and set the filter as needed. Now I think it will work. Right? Let's try our chickens. Let's see. Yes, now they're going in here like we want them to. Perfect. All right. We are getting pretty close to the end of the episode. We're a little over time at this point, but that's okay. That's okay. If you guys are watching, you guys are still having a good time, that's all that matters to me. So, let's find something that has the high EMC value. What has a really high EMC value? I mean, these drives definitely do. This definitely has a high EMC value. But we want something that's going to produce a large quantity of EMC. So, right now, this is the highest quantity we have. And these are going to fill up really fast. I'm not joking. We're going to have tons of EMC while these chickens are producing. And as long as we give this seeds, this thing's going to continue to produce more and more chickens. A lot more chickens. And we already have a bunch of lapis here. You can see there, it just scales up so fast. It's going to be kind of crazy to actually manage this. Now, this is a really compact design using this right here. What we can do is actually set another roost on top, or on the bottom here, in the floor, and actually also fill it with that. What I'm going to do right now, just so I have this going, is I'm going to set a little area up over here using just chickens to produce some energy. So it didn't take too much to set this up. As you can see right here, I have these placed on the bottom side of the roost and this placed on the top side of the roost. And I did realize you can actually place these on while these are actually all connected, so it doesn't actually matter. But this right here is actually producing so much here that it's having a hard time keeping up with the amount of lapis trying to put it inside this chest. And these on the bottom are having more issues than the ones on the top for some reason. I think it might have to do with the transfer rate of the actual transfer nodes. They just can't keep up with the chickens, which is kind of crazy. But we're going to set these, each one of those, and each one of these chests are going to go with what we currently have as the highest EMC valued item, which is these drives. So this is going to be our EMC production early game. And yeah, man, it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this evolves over the series. These chickens are super overpowered early game. That's just the name of the game, though. That's just how it's going to work. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and as always, thanks for watching.